Hello 56 here. Or Big 556. And let me just check if this is working. Today we are going to be starting and finishing the class trial this time. I just want to try and see the controls again.
So, is everybody to what?
I'm dying.
I was missing someone.
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Get in, I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? It's a crucial part.
What are you gonna do?
Okay, I'll go ahead and drag her here. Kick and skew it if I have to. Like you said a few minutes, it is fair dragging Toko. I told him I didn't want to, but he fucked. I can't believe you were just dragging Toko. Terrible, you're terrible. Oh, shut the fuck up, Toko. Okay, now is everyone here? Also, because of the type of game this is. Never mind. I was gonna go get a drink, but then I realised I've got one. Nah, that's not else. So I won't be doing voices. Okay, how's fun to the elevator? Well, let's get this show on the road! Woohoo! I'll see you guys down there!
Let's go.
So, shall we up? It's time to find out who killed your hero. Your hero. Your hero, Fujisaki. She's so gentle, kind, meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Somebody made the choice to kill a girl like that. That is fucked. And the murderer is one of us. Somebody's standing right here. We have no choice, right?
It's
We have to
true.
do this. Yes. I give a small nod of reply. With one last deep breath, I walk towards the elevator with shaky knees. Big step. I can feel my heart racing, starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a hand on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. Steel box with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my hand grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation until finally, bring, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I decorated it. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. I get deserve it. Can't get your wearing to go. Just like don't hate to go along. Okay then, let's get this show on. Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly descent, a deadly betrayal. A deadly rhythm, a deadly a deadly class trial. You fucking get it, Jesus Christ, dude. Yes. I don't think I've got any more skills. The effective gauge requires more. Hammond's Gambit and bullet time. There we go. I think that's just... yeah, I thought so. Trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened. And the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, let's talk about the murder weapon.
Make it clear, brothers. Just have to make it clear. I have done this before. I have done it before.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound. According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But
I just
what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No!
Interesting.
Shit.
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
The weapon had to be at the scene of the crime.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound. According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for.
I just know what it would be.
Chihiro's. It appears it was. According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt? I bet
it was an iron pipe.
No, he's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
No, we just wouldn't know if it was or wasn't.
If you don't
Fucking
mind,
hell.
I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element has been added. Abso-fucking-lutely. A white noise has been appear. For this, the blue lines white up. Two bullets will disappear if they hit these. So remember obstacles. There's a way to keep the white noise from getting in your way. Press X to attach the silencer. If you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, time will decrease. If you actually set the case, you can forget about it. No, we got to deal with it because hold on a second, I went for second one.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
That's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Inside.
No, it's wrong!
Oh, counter. Yeah, the file.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So look
Yeah,
more
let's forget about
importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Food lust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Every characteristic of a case. Hold on a second, it has to do with the positioning. How the victim's position.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Scissors.
Other than the killer, The only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way.
What's she do?
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What a fucking metaphor!
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of—
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
It could be a completely different person.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
So then I'm sure. I feel like I understand. Meaning to, but also not to be Toko. The answer is that she's not one person, but multiple people, right? Shizio. I'm not too sure how to say it. I know what it is. Fuck. Into that. That was 0. And O. There we go.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing
the body. Talking to Toko at the done is her behavior changed.
I'm done! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, killed! Wow, is that... Whoa, is that at the body? Hey, are you dead? Yeah! She must have had a real when she fainted. The workers are falling on the back, the top out, and the bottom. I see a troop in a web of blinds. It's very concerning, which sounds completely fucking different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. Drive out the killer, drive out the murderers.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
Yeah.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, You broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
Sorry, I can keep my promise. I don't let Genocide Jack have control over you again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
but your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Then Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thunder goes across the room within the next second. There we go, Genocide Jack.
There. Is it me you were hoping to see?
Genocide Jill? Never heard of that one before.
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this? Toko! What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is Murder's Fiend, Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true.
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid! And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Yeah. Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
Oh crap.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined, so she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't expect that to happen. Maybe. And she's totally right about this, but it's gonna still bother me. I should have any more details about all of this. Hang on. There we go.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
That's wrong.
No, that's wrong! Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Yes, there is.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, well then, human guard!
Oh,
I
fuck off.
murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. In a way that there are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this
one. The unclear evidence. The photo of such a chat. We'll see.
I got it!
There we go.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pestos.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Yes. That's right, the second difference related to it. Go Genocide Jack. You see a clear difference. I was used to suspend her.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Listen up, you stupid cow. You're coming out once
really
more.
Didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each genocide. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered. Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
That's it, that was a pattern. Oh, for fuck's sake. I think I forgot. What's that about? Sure. Because Chihiro was a girl.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Well done, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Fuck me. Ken Hawada, 32. Tenchi Honda, 17. Shoji Gato, 23. Kano Aizen, 14. Kakashi Yuda, 30. There was no end to fuck me, they were those.
They were all guys?
Guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the mopey side of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
When an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of a one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors.
Yeah.
Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
That's why I looked at the because she won't be able to hold
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
She's fully equipped.
That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you? Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Yes.
The body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There was one person. One could have... Byakuya, go ahead, you motherfucker. Byakuya.
Here's my answer.
You know.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
No, I'm not.
Then the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard, because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
We just kill her.
Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
No locker room. They're suspicious. No one's suspicious, Cindy. That's us. No such locker room. Why'd you start with the
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There's a clear contradiction. Just need to make it clear to everyone. New element has been added. Absolutely. Next we're going to add something called a trick. If you aim at a weak spot and hold that, when you memorize that weak spot, if you shoot or change bullet, it would appear from your... You can use the flashback feature as many times as you want. You don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction on your load. Might be ways to memorize with different weak spots. Use that. It's the best time the flashback, Mom. You just use your keywords. In this case, I'm saying that if you don't use the flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Oh then, good luck and have fun.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room, you absolutely take it!
No.
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
No.
The victim was Chihiro.
We didn't know that though.
No, it's wrong!
We didn't know that at the time.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
Oh, I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak. What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
I've got him corner, but he's acting like it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Proof the actor responsible. This wasn't the extension code? Yeah.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
No.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
I let you lie, motherfucker.
No, it's wrong! Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Yeah.
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this. I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
You feeling that gun? Go to calm.
What's wrong? I asked.
Hell yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to...
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think...
Do we really need...
I know, there's something that's still bothering...
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering? I killed her in the girls' locker. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
How's that just... Something's not right. Shiva's body was... Except what Byakuya said. No, I don't think there's something different to what he said.
My God! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
Rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell...
I believe I do.
Yes. Byakuya, did you just... I just take his order. He sent me to crime to Byakuya. Maybe he didn't even realize it. Yeah, just...
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place...
Yes, evidence shows it happened somewhere else. Just doing the book. The poster. Yes!
I got it!
A poster and then...
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is... the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some poster?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boy.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about. You know what I'm talking.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder...
Yeah, no. So it was moved.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the actually? An even bigger question, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' room? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed... She had no way to get into...
No, she did have a way!
I highlighted...
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it!
The broken handbook. Yes.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
No.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it.
Yeah, no.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, that's wrong! No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's hand?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup, yup, yup! Hit the nail square on the noggin!
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said.
No.
She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blip.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
What? Saliva. Just was... I don't...
Hold on a sec. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the... You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What? What are you talking about? What other way is...
Well, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Wait. Just what do you think you're...
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Yeah, that's... The final was even after the clash I'll be putting on. We headed off with Kyoko and Lee. Which took us was... Oh!
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim. Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hand? No, wait.
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds.
Very well.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action?
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Jesus, Toad.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Jesus Christ, got loud. Like a fucking Simpson. Hensaku's eyes were gleaming wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. A massive frame trembled.
This girl is...
Is what?
Is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact. What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Yeah, that's why I was struggling halfway on. As you heard, I referenced it. I made the mistake earlier. It is a boy.
Ben, it's really true?
Chihiro was... God?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a god.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
It's... You wouldn't know. I mean, he looked like a girl.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Fine, I'll
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
Chihiro was actually a guy. That never crossed my mind.
Because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room. And when the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything...
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's, but... I think he might not actually be the killer after all. What? But aren't you... He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
Obvious.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how... And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct, for the time being.
Mark it as
this guy's head.
correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
You motherfuckers.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if...
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility, because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But Byakuya, and who's the real killer? Something. Let's get next to the real evidence. Let's get out the guy. Since the sinner promised boys off, you wouldn't need the boys handle. She has havoc apparently broken, the killer was not his use. Evidence with the fact of the guy. Somehow I need to find some more clues. Yeah. Yes.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! Only the killer!
Well, no, it's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes. I did see him.
Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck... Chihiro told me he was in a hurry, but why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with...
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much enough, so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Oh, a marvelous friend! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit. We just gotta figure out who...
Oh my god, again. This might take a bit longer this time. Oh no.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Yeah.
Huh? You know who the killer is.
Seriously? Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it?
Yes.
Why? You want to track down some...
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use...
As was noted, the evidence is already gone.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, the bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety. You think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket we took.
Does Chihiro's jacket really have some blue spell? It's hard to believe.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
Yeah.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
What?
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, it's wrong!
No, it was a blue tracksuit.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago,
she said some stuff in the jacket, and then she ended up exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue track?
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste. What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our...
Then the only reason he could have known what color the is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was...
No, that can't be it.
Mondo's real testimony. She stuck the jacket into the bag and held it. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. But, and just like that, she was gone.
When Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the track was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said we'd focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with?
Ah, now I understand. Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
The way he talked.
There was a certain turning. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women different. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude. Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn...
Yeah! He would never do something like...
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, This does present us...
No.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend...
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really?
Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then, here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact, indeed, I was totally...
Then it must hold some clue about...
Well, that's what I was hoping.
I imagine the culprit broke it.
That's odd.
You're right, they're totally waterproof and shock resistant.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somehow? Precisely.
I'm gonna have a break.
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the...
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of
them, we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? I think it's a necessary piece of information.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very...
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbook?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't then allow me to make a special announcement? The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna. The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get that layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna...
Interesting. I learned...
That is a mere trifling...
Anyway... If you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to...
Meaning the culprit somehow...
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they...
What do you mean by...
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna? They'd realize it was broken, of course. And once they had Chihiro's handbook...
I won't say it's not possible. I don't know of anyone who took their handbook in...
I might know... Whoa! I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
I took my handbook into the sauna. You know I'm after, motherfuckers. Mondo.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never... I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I don't want to believe it, but I can't do that beyond the lines of shadow of a doubt. Broken e-handbook.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo...
I can't remember how to change the truth tolerance.
No, you broke...
Your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
No, that's wrong.
Oh my god, I almost missed. That was fucking miracle.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually worked. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook...
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student. But if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of...
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake.
Son of a bitch. What's wrong, bro? Come on. Tell him he's wrong. You are wrong. You have to be wrong. Everything you just said is wrong. You made it all up.
Okay, then why don't we look back that way? Everything will become clear. And we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, good to know. Oh, what? Hold on. I think it's that one and then... Hang on. And that one. Yeah, I think it's switched now. I hope this is correct.
The killer is you! First, let's take a look. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm.
Yes.
With bag in hand, she made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was a...
Yes. Thought so.
Simple. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain... Once inside, he met with someone there.
Yep.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed a nearby dumbbell and attacked
him.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came.
Well,
it was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try, then remove... And finally carrying the corpse. A girl's handbook was necessary, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Saya using one of those, a...
Yeah, I thought so.
The killer is you!
How far back?
After all, using...
Wow.
Here's exactly what happened. After all, using one of those... The killer is you! After all, using one of those...
Yeah.
And that's exactly with the carpet and the poster they brought with them. They got to work.
Should be done now.
They changed the layout of the boys and girls' That could have been the Yakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library,
Then he got to
he used the cord to string up
Chihiro.
Then, using the victim's own blood, He left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of that. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own hand. And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait.
No.
This can't be right. Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Mom. It's a little bit about fever. Jump at the time if you press the L1 button. R1. Fever will activate and the tempo will force with masks. At this point, even if you push the buttons around and you miss, bash, however you want to destroy you. But this is only until your focus gauge runs out, and only before you've got to access to special. It also prepared something called negatime that your opponent activates negatime during the tempo mark or decrease, making it harder, quite a bit harder to hit the buttons. If you were to activate, never mind, I'm not sure nothing would happen. I don't know, if your action was difficult.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refuse you! False! Show me some evidence!
Hey. Hey, Charles Calvin.
I won't listen! False! You're corrupt!
Why the hell is this not working? What? Yeah, I believe you are. But, oh fuck, my Clash Royale is officially a joke. No, fuck. Go ahead, ask. And everyone else now must be punished.
Is this really the end for all?
Can I answer your question? Yeah.
I refuse to give up yet!
A new element. Is that just what I've heard? Yeah. Push the buttons at random, you won't miss. This is my first time playing this game up to about this point here. I did it, but then I lost my PlayStation account or something like that happened. So from here on out is no. It won't be fair if you only got also prepare next time. Temporary mark will disappear, making it quite a bit harder. So I've got to try and guess it then.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False!
I gotta say, Kyoko I thought was a good character, and I hated this dude Tucker. To how annoying he is.
I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. I refuse to vote. I refute you. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
Yeah, I always thought he was a really annoying character because of how he acts, the way he speaks to the characters.
If my thinking so far is right...
But from the second game, I've seen the second and the third game, but I do plan on playing them on my channel anyway after I forgot about them. The second is probably Chiaki, I thought. I really like the Chiaki's character, and Fihiko's and what's the big dude? Oh, the Ultimate Team coach, if you know who I'm on about. And hated. Oh, who did I hate? Monome.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Wow, that's... Whew. An A, huh?
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait!
No waiting. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it
I knew what I
gonna
was
be?
doing, I just couldn't get the tempo right. Mondo. They voted Mondo.
What?
Oh no, it's time to you ready got that? Okay. Oh, from this series I haven't played or seen the ending to Ultra Despair Girls, and I believe there's a new fan game. There's a fourth one or the fan game's out. I'm not too sure about it. Mondo, Odawa, Oda. In case you're wondering, the vote is not anonymous. Kiyotaka chosen. So they're very close to the danger zone, Mr. Uchima.
What?
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way you would kill someone. Sorry.
What is this?
Why are you apologising? Why? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Taka taking a vow. Silence.
Actually.
Story fails the murderous time. It's a start. Before it doesn't want to hear it. That's fucked up. Anyway, I was once a young boy. His name is Chirus Fujisaki. He had an extremely inferior complex regarding his lack of strength. So weak, even though you were a boy. He'd hear things like that as long as he could remember. And he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and buried himself further and further into that weakness. He took one fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Nobody will be able to say anything about Eve. Nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. No matter how tightly he wrapped himself in that shell, the complex had always taken root deep inside of him and was not easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Wow.
Weak.
What's the kind of game up again here at the school? You had no choice but to accept the fate. The odds survival is first. If you're not strong,
you won't survive. A lovely and hated Monokuma announced. Revealing which include the secret which I was more than willing to indulge. Jessica Boyd here.
Hey,
If there was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter what the cost, and if it was revealed in the end, the harness shell would crack, the arm would fall again, and let down. Those around him would torture him even more than even before. Everyone figured being thrust into a dilemma must have sent them spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I really want to talk about it.
But...
I also don't leave things where they ask me yet. I'll try my best to become strong. I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used a further discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my
I
chance.
want to change.
I'm gonna get stronger. And accept who I am. Strong enough to when someone says, even though you're a boy. Okay, I'll get better. Therefore, at the front of his mind, resolved to take action immediately. And so... after he committed to begin exercising, he was prepared to train his mind and body. But sadly, the first and only chance he would get at it.
Hey,
And when he decided to start, even though he thought about bigger jobs, he wanted to start a person in a sequel first. That doesn't happen from him. The person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was made. That's even more fucked, man. Yep, sure was. A bike gang fella had been carefully clear about how important his manly promises were. I figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep his secret. Thus, it's the macho Mondo. The very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro always aspired to be. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So we went and asked Mondo to help him become stronger. Well, what's his aspiration? You would know he thought one spot with it, but he'll never be able to focus it. Well, he was able. So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did. To keep the promise he made Chihiro. But he did what he did. You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker into the
Indeed.
girls'? That's exactly what I mean. I'd like to cover up what
Certainly.
he'd done. That'd be part of it. I don't think that was the main reason. We always was to keep the promise between man. You know, with Chihiro. I just moved nobody because everyone thought he'd be killed in the boys' locker room. One would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? As I started up, at least the three of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so... Tried to protect him, was secret about it, putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his number, so... Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. He also killed. The more I hear you talk, the more you don't understand. I mean, you guys trust each other, right?
why?
Why did you? Because the man wanted him. I don't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
That's what
Took it after all.
his promise. His honor. The possibility of having him about some memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Never could have been that bad. We didn't want anyone to know if
You're wrong!
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Besides, must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standards is to high or falling. Even if you can't comprehend it, you obviously can.
All there is to it.
Wow, well, that's not it. Why didn't I tell you? Mouse memory that you didn't want to
Hey,
know. You know what Mondo did, I? He killed... What? Killed his own brother. The armor biking leader makes all the hoodlums and riff-raff across the country. The only reason he had the chance to join the gang in the first place was because of a certain somebody. Mondo's older brother, name is Daira Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It's only because Owada ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. Mondo's mentor was a good pro, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the stray-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local sector. Before anyone knew it, they'd gone into the biggest gang in the country. Now the only brother, number one in the gang, is number two, his youngest brother, Mondo. And everything was peaches and gravy. Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang, so his brother's greatness, his reputation, and screw on Mondo's very soul. Kids, going around take for tire, huh? I created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo was just long for the way. Someone like that would really be our leader. So, all that I'd do is make him. So every day Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other gang members, which is why
I just...
I gotta get stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what.
Don't fuck with me.
You can't text. I got a command on the cell. One night of his major brother with time and ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street fight. Bruno's tragedy stuck. Kid brother pushed him. Just to have it direct this abs of eagle and dashed it. Silently. What? Then in his kid's brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault. I never blamed him for what happened. Kid, the rest of that team, no matter what you've done, you gotta keep the gang together. It's just a team you and me put together. It's a promise between men. Oh man. Decided I had you forever from anyone else in the gang. Keep the gang together. Keep the his brother. Never meant to anyone for it. So weakness. As was his own weakness. As a result, the team was made even stronger. But the banner of the kid who bested his big brother was going to lose to his kid brother. So he got stupid and got himself killed. Then became the explanation of what happened. Mondo's. I became the truth. I wanted to lead the team so bad it was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong. Strong. And yes. As soon as I kind of began, he realised how tough he pretended to be. Every week I would die any second. And then the love hate to Monica when asked. The point was clear I would have to be shedding light. Monica killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members. Everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother ever worked to create would have been destroyed. This death, all the guilt I've been going on, would have been for nothing. So that's why. So I Mondo. After I saw what Monica had on me, I had filled up with a fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling. I never found anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to say, but after all the fight, this happened to a walk on level of anxiety way down in my stomach. So right around then, she asked me to start working out with him. Then, tell me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me something? I mean, you kept the secret all this time, right?
But
you're right,
I want to change.
I let myself in lies and weak. I wanted to show that version of me forever. So that's what I can learn from the girl. Like it was exposing the lie I've been living myself. I want to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. So strong can't hurt you, right? Secret Monica might tell us.
You piece of...
So like you said, I should
what?
Saying if I really should be able to... I was jealous. This is a strength. He had strength to face his own weakness. Try and overcome him. It's kind of strength I never had. I was jealous of him. The jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? Strong. Are you fucking with me?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong. But like I could hear something starting to creep. I've been down my head. What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back and let myself forget about the other women and everything?
Damn you!
You have to tell me all that. You're trying to run my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I really admire you. I admire.
Yeah, that's right.
So I am strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
Stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. I woke up again. I'm standing on my feet, covered in blood. There's a dumbbell in my hands. I was staring down at him. Hey!
I killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time. I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. There's nothing so aggressive, so angry. You have that weak side from everyone. That was the secret. Weakness like that lived in a heart like his. Turns him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see, you're just like him. Like another human being in cold-blood. He could cut free of his own regrets. Now it's like, he didn't know what true strength was. Hope anywhere with now, because I showed now. You bastard. You shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead and say that again, right, Danny. I'll say this as many times as I want. Unfortunately, I can't do it right now because it's time for punishment. As fast as Punish him.
Kid me.
You mean execution?
Well now.
Just peaceful
Ridiculous.
Hold
now
on.
then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Odawa, the ultimate bike game. No.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh man, that hits hard. Game over. Mono's been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh wow. The poet, the cage, not there. Oh, is he vapor? Did he fade? Vapor? What? How the hell did he go? What? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Never deafen yourself, forever be a peace. It can't be. My brother. Have a murder. Yet never execution. I wanna feel again. Everyone's eyes are digging so slightly here. I'm going mad. Here you are. Man. It's like a sad screams of very dark girls. False realizing skin. But of course. My disappointment is the end of the game. Be accurate?
What is this?
Completely insane, you know that? Again, one of our friends died during it. Because of him. Because it's a game of life and death. I would have been deciding.
However,
I just don't understand why. When you go through your disguise,
what?
Why? Obvious. Because we had made friends. This voice was so calm. Most of the voice, like the voice of death, chill me to the bone. Last night when I emerged the place, but I was in life.
Honestly.
No, the night time. It all never mattered to me. I'm a calling.
There is nothing to be done.
I don't particularly care. Please continue. Did I grow late? I decided to just take my room. My mother coming out of the girls' locker room. I decided to solve problems. Don't you? I didn't expect. Besides, I did. They're saying you knew who the puppet was from the very beginning. Did. If that been the answer, how born would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time that fans with him. Indeed, not the answer would be. Which is why I decided to just let it happen. What went live was did you go back to liven things up? But after hearing about Genocide Jack from Tokyo, you decided to choose that. Hit them fake murder scene. But damn man, now I figure out who would it. Too right, obviously. I'd have to reveal the truth before it reached up, but of course. After your time to look at his sharp eyes, just actually set my mark on someone, I never did.
Interesting.
And I decided, once I do decide to come back, I don't know how I'm going to jump. What? No, that was no reason. Are you satisfied? Yes. I've done this because moving on. There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
You.
Like perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why? Do you like them? But you know this is punishment, this is spam, it's not just this punishment is so I give them. I'm going to start. Do I over-exaggerate it? And I over-exaggerate it. Especially to mental chance for more hope. To despair. What do you mean? Me?
What the heck?
Me. God forbid, I know somebody has to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. Then I'm going to stand alone as the victor. That is the will be revealed to me.
Ooh, How
Over there, oh, son of a noble family, truly, you understand. I mean, this dark, terrifying question. Shut up. I don't suit to be labeled of a childish criminal. Maybe just after I decided to accompany her now. Fine drunk, aren't you?
In the name of my family.
The Togami family. Victory is foregone.
You're getting all riled up!
No trash mom here.
So whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper, sounds like something to keep it up. Guess I have to build the boss quarter. Turns closed, but I knew that wasn't him. Can the game would still continue because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. Those of us who are still alive, I was swimming in the neck at the Montblanc. I just spent I felt like a blind puppy in hell.
And more of a future for us.
I thought courage, my efforts are friendship. Like a man to nothing. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do, after all,
that's what everyone wants to say.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away.
Who is it?
My. You really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friend.
So whenever there's a 16th student now. Chapter 2. Boy's life of despair. The end. 2 more students die. To be continued. Oh wow. Check the save data. Yes. 2 of a kind. And that's going to be it for today. Yes, that is going to be it for today. We'll be going